Welcome to Volume 4, where we focus on the current and possible future endpoint protection technologies used in cybersecurity. Endpoint protection is a very important and hot topic at the moment in the security industry. So let's first define what do we mean by the endpoint.
The endpoint is simply a technical term that refers to the clients that we use, so the laptops, desktops, phones, tablets, and so on. These are the endpoints. And endpoint protection is the technologies installed on the endpoints that attempt to protect them from the threats and the adversaries that we face and that they face. The endpoint protection technologies, as you can see here, they include things like antivirus, application whitelisting, execution prevention, intrusion prevention, disk encryption, and much more. And those are supported by mechanisms such as signatures, behavioral analysis, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, all covered throughout this course to protect the endpoint. Traditionally, and still commonly, people and organizations mistakenly concentrate too much effort on protecting the perimeter of the network using technologies like firewalls, routers, and network filtering. Much of the security budget is spent at the perimeter, which is a poor return on your security investment in the current threat landscape. Because what this creates is a coconut-like security defense strategy. It's hard on the outside, but soft on the inside. Concentrating on securing the perimeter is not an effective security strategy anymore, and it hasn't been actually for a long time. The coconut is completely dead. If you focus on perimeter defenses, you lack defense in depth. You're not creating multiple layers for an attacker to have to bypass. Security should be like a tough onion with multiple tough layers to bite through. Devices move around and lose the protection of the perimeter defenses. Your endpoints, your laptop, tablet, and phone, they don't stay on your home network or on your business network hidden behind the perimeter defenses anymore. Those days are gone. The endpoint travels, it moves. Security must travel with the asset to be effective. This is endpoint protection. And this is why endpoint protection is so important, because it travels with the asset and protects it and adds those extra layers of protection to those devices, to those endpoints, and works in collaboration with the way we want to use the endpoints. Security must be layers of defenses that predict, prevent, detect, respond, and recover from both known and unknown threats. According to 451 Research, malware is considered the biggest concern among people responsible for security within businesses. Additionally, endpoint protection has the highest estimated spend over the next couple of years. The endpoint is a big concern because humans control the endpoint and humans make mistakes to allow attackers in. Threats target the endpoint because they are easy targets. Endpoints are used as launch points to attack other devices, and with more recent trends, ransom your precious data through ransomware, which is an extremely popular, automated, effective, and lucrative attack strategy, which is only going to become a bigger threat. Endpoint protection is an important battleground against ransomware and all types of attacks, in fact. Security must live on the endpoint and travel with it. So endpoint protection is a hot topic now. Businesses have already realized it's important as part of an effective security strategy, and budgets are focused on it. You need to understand endpoint protection to be on the cutting edge of cybersecurity. And talking of the cutting edge, we are entering the automation age now. Jobs will be increasingly replaced by automation. Whole industries will look completely different in the lifetime of most people taking this course. The security industry will be at the forefront of change through automation. Machine learning and artificial intelligence is being adopted for both defense and attack right now, with endpoint protection already at the forefront of security moving into the automation age. Within 10 to 20 years, cybersecurity will involve artificial intelligence endpoint technologies defending against artificial intelligence attack platforms. An interesting and possibly scary cyber future awaits us.
So let's now dig into the course and explore the current and future endpoint protection technologies and start our journey on this course, on this volume, into cybersecurity. Let's talk about the goals and learning objectives for Volume 4. On this course, we fully explore the current and possible future endpoint protection technologies used in cybersecurity. Plus, at the end, we cover the important topics of email and messenger security. You will master the selection and implementation of appropriate disk and file encryption technology. You will learn how disk encryption is attacked and how to mitigate those attacks. You understand the current antivirus, anti-malware, and endpoint protection software suites that are available and how they work, how to select the best products, and how to implement them successfully. We look at the next generation of antivirus, endpoint protection, endpoint detection and response software suites that are available and coming in the future. You will learn, importantly, how the various endpoint protection technologies can work in synergy to provide defense in depth. We fully cover all the varying technologies offered by endpoint protection software, both traditional and next generation. You'll learn about application control, execution prevention, whitelisting, about security frameworks and how to implement them to increase the security of the endpoint. You will learn how we can detect and monitor for threats such as malware and hackers through the use of honeypots, traps, tokens, intrusion detection systems, and file integrity monitors. We then have fun learning how to seek and destroy system-resident malware and hackers, covering as usual Windows, Mac, and Linux. And for each of those operating systems, you will learn effective methods to find suspicious processes and how to find and remove malware and hackers' methods of maintaining persistence. You'll learn how to perform operating system and application hardening to decrease their attack surface, covering manual and automated hardening standards, and auditing. You'll know how to securely delete data and metadata so that it is unrecoverable by even computer forensics using anti-forensic techniques, covering the important differences between mechanical and solid-state drives and recovery media. We move away from endpoint protection and onto the important topic of email security, privacy, and anonymity. We start by understanding email clients, protocols, authentication methods, and email weaknesses. Then, how to mitigate those weaknesses. You will learn about PGP, encryption, remailers, how to choose a secure email provider, and secure email alternatives. Finally, on this course, you learn how to choose and evaluate the best mobile and desktop messengers that support effective security, privacy, and anonymity, covering instant messengers, video and voice messengers on mobile, desktop applications, iOS, and Android. As usual, for all the topics, we cover all the major platforms, Windows, Mac, and Linux, and where appropriate, iOS and Android. If you want to know more about the previous volumes from this course, check out the bonus lectures at the end to understand how they all fit together in one complete course. This is volume 4 of your complete guide to cybersecurity, privacy, and anonymity. So let's get going on the course.